Sorry, I just got a notification. If you are watching this right now, this is the replay. We are no longer live, but welcome. I am making an Aries bag today, which is the Style by Knotted Threads Co. It's a custom order. I can't wait to show you guys the fabric. Let me just wait for all my TikTok peeps to jump on and we will get started. I also have a package to open up. I want to make sure my address. Hi. Hey, Just Mammy. I have a little package to open up before I start your bag. I want to wait until a couple people jump on though. Hey, Amber. Hey, Sister Aloha. Hey, Nicole. Hey, Bernadette. Hey, Deanie. Hey, Laura. Hey, you guys. All the highs just came in so fast so I can't name you. Sorry. Hey, happy Thursday. I have a package to open up. It came in yesterday and I was like, man, I should wait to open it because I have a live scheduled today. Everything's good in Hawaii. It's kind of overcast today. It was raining a little bit this morning. Oh, welcome, Bora Pink. I think I'm going to go ahead and open it. I'm going to add this to my YouTube when I'm done, so whoever misses it, they'll be able to see it there. Hey, Holly. Let me grab my scissors. Okay, so these are my new name tapes. I ordered some charms and then some name tapes. I don't want to do that because my address is on there. So I wanted to open up with you guys to see if we're excited or disappointed. Last time I was kind of disappointed to open it. All right, so I got 200 pieces of each. I think my total was 350, like 340, 350, something like that. Oh, good, they sent washers. A lot of places don't send washers, but they did. All right, let's see. We had some tornadoes yesterday. Where are you at, Erica? I know Texas was getting hit really bad with some crazy weather. Oh, they packaged them up really weird. I've never seen it like that before. I like them. They're kind of dirty, but I like them. It's nothing super fancy. It's just my logo and the name. And this is, I want to say brushed silver is the finish that I chose. And then I got black ink inside. Let me see. There we go. And I'll show you guys who I got them from if you're interested. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I like them. So my old ones just had my name, which that's why I said they packaged them weird because normally I just get them in a bag. So the font's a little bit different. They are a touch, no, they're about the same size. They're actually the same size. The font's a little bit different. And then this one has my logo. I like it. They did a good job. And then the back, I know that I was having some issues with this supplier where it's attached on the back, these little prongs were popping off. So let me just give it a quick little test. They look good. The metal back here is actually a lot stronger than this metal. I can tell when I bend it up. So I like it. I'll go through, so what I normally do is like I'll weigh one of these and then I'll weigh the whole bag to make sure that I have my total quantity that I ordered. And then I'll just go in through probably, I ordered 200, so I'll probably pick out like 50 and just randomly open them up just to make sure that they're good. I love the new ones too. But they are kind of dirty, unless that was the box. Maybe that was the box. Alright, so Just Mammy, for your bag, this is a custom order that I'm doing today. Did you want one of the new tags? That was one of the reasons why I wanted to open it up to show you. Do you want a new tag? Alright, let me set that aside and then open up my other one. And I got some little charms. It's not old. Those are the washers. I like them. I was really disappointed on my last one, so I'm happy about these. No, okay. Hey, Nina Love. All right, and then I got some charms, some custom charms. I had a feeling that this was going to go this way. They're okay. Right after I approved them to make them, I realized that I forgot to add the ink to it. So I like the size. I just wish I would have added a background ink so that that BB would stand out. But I mean, it's double-sided. It feels really strong. I like the jump ring. That metal is pretty tight. I just wish I would have added something to the back so that BB stuck out. And like I said, it was totally my fault. I realized it after I approved them to go ahead. Yeah, I designed them. Okay. But I like the size. My last one. So I wanted something for like my zip around wallets that were a little bit smaller, and then like my mini, so like these are my mini zip around wallets right here, and I just figured what I had was just a little big. This was my old one, and so I wanted something just a touch smaller, well not a touch, but much smaller, just so I feel like it would look a little bit better on the smaller items. So that's why I got these. I like it. I just wish I would have added some ink to the back of it. All right, let me show you guys my supplier and then we'll get started. I took a picture of it. So you can screenshot this now. I'm also going to upload this video to my YouTube right after we're done. So if you missed it, then you can go there and you can get it and screenshot it there too. And then in the description of my YouTube, I'll go ahead and write it out. Let me see one of my photos. That's the name. It's on Alibaba.com. So you can screenshot this, but again, that's the name of the shop. And like I said, it was about $350 for 400 pieces, and that included a mold. So anytime you have a custom tag made, you have to pay for a mold. But then once you get that order done, you don't have to order a mold anymore. You can just order more of your pieces. So I believe the mold was between $50 and $70. I can't remember exactly. So that, in my opinion, after ordering these from a couple of different suppliers, that price was not bad at all. Thanks, Nikki. Okay, I know I missed a lot of y'all's comments. I'm sorry. Hey, Nikki, let me just jump into the custom order that we have today. So today I am making the Aries bag. The pattern is by Knotted Threads Co. This is what it looks like. This is not the print that we're doing. I added a zipper to the back. I changed the zipper closure. This one is done a little bit differently. So mine come with a card holder on the inside. Daphne did not want the card holder. Instead, she wanted a zipper pocket. So we're going to be adding, well, I already added a zipper pocket, but that's going to be the change. And then she didn't want a shoulder strap. She just wanted the crossbody strap. So all of mine come with a shoulder strap and a crossbody strap. She didn't want the shoulder, so we're just going to do a crossbody. Benita, this is your print. I think you have everything but this style. All right, so let's jump in. Let me show you guys. The inside lining is this really pretty yellow plaid. It's got shades of yellow. It's not just yellow and white. And then she wanted gray for her coordinating vinyl. It's dark gray. And then this is the main. This is the showstopper. So I've made this, I think, once before for Daphne for her other custom order, and I think I did it live, so you guys may have seen this before. This print is not available in my store. If I have enough interest, I'll add some things, but you can always use this for a custom order if you'd like. Hi, Arlene. Hey, Holly. I'm late. What's the best place to get the metal label? I'm going to show it one more time for those that missed it, but then I'm going to upload this video to my YouTube so you can get the information later. This is where I recently ordered my name tags from. This is on Alibaba.com. Did you play around with the flap over the zipper? Not yet. Not yet. I haven't had a chance. All right, let's jump in. So there's a couple of prep steps that I need to do before making it. Hi. Hey, Erica. Oh, Buffalo, New York. Is that where you guys got the tornadoes? So the first step for the front and the back exterior panel, I am marking the bottom center by just lining it up and just making the smallest little snip. And then on the interior, so I went ahead and added a zipper pocket to the inside. She wanted this really pretty yellow too. For the interior, I'm actually going to mark the top and the bottom center. Hi, Nicola. Hey, Miss Tuesday. Oh, hey, Kayla. I uploaded that to my YouTube, the live from Tuesday, if you ever want to go back and rewatch it. All right, so I'm going to mark the center of the bottom as well as the top. Isn't it a pretty yellow? I just got this fabric in from Joann maybe 3 days ago. I haven't used it on anything yet, but I figured eventually, well, we're in the summertime, so it would be cute for summer. Hey, Dawn. All right, so I marked that, and then now what we need to do is the pattern piece tells you to mark a couple of pieces. I can't give the measurement because it's not my pattern, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. So this is sewn together, the inside and the out, with what's called a drop-in lining. So most of the things you guys see me sew, I have to turn it right side out through a zippered pocket. That's not done with this pattern. So the exterior, front and back, there's a top panel for the interior. I'm doing that. Just placed my first order with use. Oh, thanks, Amanda. What'd you get? If you want to tell the group. If not, that's okay. I'm looking for a plain black purse. I think you may have meant plain. Plain's not really my jam, so I don't have any of those. You could always custom order it though. Everything that I sell is printed. Good. Yeah, it would look good inside the sunflower bag. 3 keychain wallets. Oh, I love that. Oh, I love that in the sunflower wallet. Great choices. Okay, so I marked the top of a couple pieces, and when I get to these pieces and the use for these marks, I'll tell you. It's not really important to talk about now. Let's talk about something fun. What are you guys doing this weekend? Thanks, Joanne. So, if you've never watched me before, and I say this all the time, I make my patterns by using a plastic cutting mat. I got these on Amazon. I think you can get like 10 of them for less than 10 bucks, but these patterns, I mean, they will take a beating and keep on ticking. So there's a pattern piece that has a curve at the top, and you have to measure down a certain distance all the way along this curve. So what I do on the straightaways right here, I measure down, and then I take my pattern, line it up to those curve or those straightaways, and then make my distance all the way down. That way I don't have to measure down the whole way and then connect the dots. I always seem to nick your, oh really? So when I use my templates, I use them to trace the pattern to whatever I'm cutting. So when I cut this out, I put my pattern down, traced it, and then I cut it out. So I don't ever cut out my pattern. I usually just draw it first. So if you're nicking your pattern, you might want to try that, because there's no scissors involved, right? You're just drawing. It does save you from cutting wrong. Hi, Gail. I do cut with the roller, but you can do the same thing with scissors. So if you trace your pattern down to your fabric, and then you can cut it out with scissors. All right, everything's prepped. Let's jump into, let's do our zipper pocket. So this is something that I've added to the pattern, a zipper pocket. So I'm gonna start with that. So there's a bunch of different ways to do a pocket that has the zipper overlay. I'm gonna show you how I do mine. So here are my inside lining pieces for the pocket. So I'm going to take one of those pieces, line it right side up, lay my zipper down right side up. Let me get my tension right. And then I'm going to stitch those two together. This is called the Aries crossbody bag. The pattern is by Knotted Threads Co. All right. So this is what we're looking like. Now we're going to take the other inside lining piece right side up, and then we're going to line our zipper up to the top of that, also right side up. And then sew that down. Thanks, Just Mammy. I think I came out with, well, I didn't come out with it. I made it and released some prints, help me guys, 2 weeks ago? It's been at least 2 weeks, it may be 3. But yeah, it's my newest style. All right. So the zipper is stitched on, so when you open it up with the teeth right side up, you'll see the back of the fabric. We'll set that aside and then grab my zipper overlay. I gave measurements on this a couple of videos back in my YouTube of all of the changes that I made. Anytime you make changes to a pattern, you could obviously give out the measurements if it doesn't conflict with the pattern. I like the size too, it's perfect. I normally wear like a fanny pack. I don't think I have any up there. But like in my nicer places that I go, if I'm running to the store, I'm using my fanny pack. But like I went a couple of events last week and I used my Aries bag and I loved it. It's the perfect size for me. I got your list of pattern. Oh, good. I'm glad. What's a fanny pack? It's like it's called a bum bag or a hip bag. All right, so I'm placing double-sided tape right along the edges, the outside edges of both sides. I'm gonna take that backing off. And then from the top of the panel, again, because this is my change, I can give you guys the measurements. I go down 1.5 inches, lay my ruler down, and then center this. And then I'm gonna push that tape in. Make sure it's butted up against my ruler so I know it's nice and even, and then press that tape down. So that is what, the zipper's actually in the perfect placement because there's nothing right here. I love that. Okay, and so now what I'm going to do is stitch all the way around the outside of this zipper panel. Let me get my tension right. Get some water. My family sewed too. So my mom sewed growing up. When I was growing up, she made all of our clothes. But she's the only one in my family that does. My sewing machine goes super fast, so a lot of the times I like to just hand crank around my short little curves. And then now what I'm going to do is pull my thread through so I can knot it off instead of back stitching. It's a cute print, Loretta. Again, it's not on my website, but you can absolutely custom order one if you'd like. Sign up is available in my Facebook group. All right, I'm going to pull my thread through and knot it off. Now what this does is it allows your stitching to look really seamless. To lock your stitches in, you have to back stitch. So you'll stitch a couple, go over them, and then keep stitching, and then you'll do the same thing when you're done. You go over your stitching to lock it in. So pulling them through and tying them off. I think I have one overlap stitch, which is right here underneath my fingernail. So it just helps it to look really pretty, really seamless. Okay. Now I'm going to cut a line right through that opening. I'm going to start it with my seam ripper and then just use my scissors. And I'm just going to cut out a little bit of my extra vinyl on the inside. I usually leave about I'd say about 1/4 of an inch all the way around. And I'll show you guys up close once I'm done cutting. How does it feel to have lavender eyes? I don't think I have lavender eyes. Okay, so here's the stitching. I leave about 1/4 of an inch of material all the way around. And then now what I'm going to do, here's what the front looks like. Now what I'm going to do is add a piece of 1/4 inch double-sided tape around the top stitching and the bottom stitching. Okay. So, right above those stitch marks. Thanks, Zany. You can't hear me? Sometimes if you exit and come back in, it'll fix that. The tape gums up my needles sometimes, not very often though. Okay, so I have my tape. I took the backing of the tape off. I'm going to set that aside. This pocket piece that we prepped earlier, we're going to lay it with the zipper teeth up. And then I'm going to center my panel along that zipper. And the good thing about the tape is that if it's not centered, you can just lift it up and push it back down. I think that's pretty centered. There we go. And then you want to make sure that you have your pull included in that box. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to stitch around the interior, which is closest to the zipper teeth. Is this a new pattern to carry your custom order? Yes, Lisa. I released it like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I didn't release it. It's not my pattern. But the bags that I sell, I started selling those about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I'm using a 3.5 stitch length. It is big enough to secure the pieces of fabric together, but remember this is also a top stitch, right? Because you're seeing this stitch. So I don't want it super small, but you also want to make sure that it is holding your pieces of fabric together. So I use a 3.5. Same thing, I'm going to pull my thread through so I can knot it off. Oh no. There we go. Get my pull out of the way. And then same thing, instead of back stitching, I'm going to pull that through. And I'll show you guys up close what it looks like. I like to hit my threads with the lighter. It's not necessary, but it just kind of seals them. Okay, so here's what we're looking like for the stitching around our zipper panel. Now what we're going to do, I thought I had something crawling on my foot. I was about to freak out. Alright, now what I'm going to do is, obviously the pocket is obviously way too big for this. I'm going to trim down this bottom piece. I'm going to leave about 1/4 inch. So it's like that. And then I'm going to fold this over to match that. So I'm not going to pull this all the way down because I want to have a little bit of pocket on the top. So for this one, if you pulled it all the way down, the only pocket that you would have is going straight down. Your top pocket would end right up here. But I make mine a little bit bigger, that way you can tuck other things in. So there's about another inch up there that you can make larger things fit. So for example, this passport holder, if I cut off the top of my pocket, it would not fit because it's too tall. But because we have that extra space in the top, we can fit it in. So if you were to pull your pocket all the way down, then you would only have the pocket, you would have the pocket ending at the top of your zipper. But see, as you can see, we have a little more than an inch. All right, let me get this out of here before I forget. I could not stand another centipede. I was telling somebody about that yesterday. I had somebody come over and I was telling them that story, and just retelling the story, I wanted to move off the island. Thanks, Sarah. Alright, so I just clipped those two pieces together, and then now what I'm going to do is pull back my panel, and I'm going to stitch down across the pocket, and then I'm going to stitch back up. This is 2 layers of cotton, which is really thin for my machine. My machine really likes thicker layers, so I'm going to try to get my tension down as much as possible to sew these. Not too shabby with the tension. Normally, if your tension is too tight, you'll see your stitching kind of bunch up like that. And then I'm just going to trim away a little bit of the extra. Anytime you cut a lighter, it's a good idea to seal it with, anytime you cut a zipper, it's a good idea to seal it with a lighter because that zipper tape will just unravel. And then now what I've been doing, so if you look at your zipper pocket, it's only held in with these stitches right here on the side, which is like 3 or 4 stitches. I don't like that. That makes me really nervous. So remember, this top row of stitching is just stitching this panel onto the exterior. This inside row of stitching is what is attached, the zipper pocket to the panel. So for our side, we only have these holding it in. So what I've been doing, and this is totally optional, this just makes me sleep better at nighttime. I've been taking some E6000 glue, lifting up my pocket right where those stitches are on the side of my pocket and just applying glue. And that just gives it a little bit extra security. It's just a little dollop. Then I'll push that zipper in. That's why I like to do this piece first when I'm making the bag, so that'll give it enough time to dry. So now we have those 4 stitches on each side, plus we have super strong glue. Alright, so that is how I make the zipper panel for the back of the bag. So I'm going to set that aside. The front of the bag just gets the nameplate for my design, so I'm going to go ahead and put that on with the new one. Thanks, Dana. Thanks, just Mammy. Okay. Normally I go down 3 inches from the top and add my nameplate, but because we have a kind of a blank space right here, I want to just utilize that so I don't take up any of the books. So I'm going to measure that, center it, put my new little thing in, gonna make the marks, and then use my seam ripper to punch those out. I love that. Let me get a washer. These are my old washers. They look like they might be a little off. Let me try the ones they sent me. Perfect. They're the smallest washers I've ever seen, but they're perfect. How many hours does it take you to make a bed? On average, I like these. These are really strong prongs. On average, about an hour and a half. They're really strong. I like them. Okay, so here is going to be the front of the bag. I love it. Daphne, you are the first person ever to get one of these tags. All right, I'm gonna set that aside and let's work on our zipper opening. I'm missing a piece. Here it is. I love it. Can I see the paw print? Yeah, as soon as I'm done. So right now I'm actually doing a custom order where I've scheduled time with someone to watch their bag being made. But as soon as I'm done, yeah, I'm happy to show you anything that you like. All right, so what I'm doing is prepping my zipper so that it opens a certain way. And I'll show you what I mean. I have some tutorials on how to do this if you're interested. All right, so what I'm doing is I am folding my zipper down so that way it has a nice rounded edge inside of my zipper panel. And this is what it looks like once it's done. So if you unzip it a little bit, you see how it kind of rounds over? That's what I'm doing right now. So I'm going to just stitch those sides down. West Highland Terrace. I'm not sure what that is, so I would say no. So I just do a couple stitches on each side to hold those folds over, and then I'm going to cut off the excess material. And then, like I said earlier, anytime you cut a zipper, it's a good idea to singe it with the lighter so that it doesn't unravel. Now we're going to install this in our zipper panel. So I'm going to line up the top of the panel. I want to make sure that it is nice and even across the entire top. Clip that in place. Then I'm going to open this up and then clip the zipper tape down along the side. When we were doing this, when Daphne was designing this bag, we were talking about zipper colors. And I told her that it was going to be in a panel, so if she wanted something a little bit more seamless, we could do a gray, or we could do this for a pop of color, and she went with the pop, which I love. And you can kind of see here, we got the pop of color. So the alternative was like a dark gray, which would look good, but I really like this. This ties in the yellow in the books, which then ties in the yellow on the interior. I agree with the pop. Okay, so it's clipped on just the top, and then now I'm going to add the bottom side and then clip that in place. It does look good. She did a good job designing it. I can't take any credit with custom orders because you guys design them yourself, which I love because it takes the pressure off of me. How much have I missed? A little bit. I started about 35 minutes ago, 40 minutes ago. But I'm going to upload this to my YouTube, so if you wanted to leave and watch the end, or if you missed the beginning and want to watch that later, it'll be in my YouTube. And to find that, you just go to my TikTok page by clicking on that BB. Right underneath the follow button, there's an Instagram icon, and that has my Instagram as well as my YouTube link, so it'll take you right over to my YouTube page, and then you can follow and look at the videos and all that. Okay. So we have our zipper clipped into our panel, and I'm going to go ahead and stitch down, across, and then back up on both sides. Let me adjust my tension. Remember, I went from sewing 2 pieces of a cotton to now 2 pieces of vinyl plus a zipper. When you ever move from Hawaii? Yeah, we have to leave in a little bit less than a year. Alright, that side is done. We have no idea where we're moving next. We usually don't find out until about 5 or 6 months before we have to leave. So I should know around January, February. You guys know I'll let you know as soon as I know. It's funny, I actually had a dream last night that we moved to Ohio. And I cried. But it was an emotional night for me last night, so I don't know what was going on. All right, zipper panel is all stitched up. And then now what I am doing is cut off the excess and add my zipper end. I'm noticing, do you need more or less tension for this? So for thicker fabric, you need more tension, and for thinner fabric, you need less tension. At least I would have a Joann's, correct, and a Michael's, and a Hobby Lobby, and a Chipotle, a Dollar Tree, a Trader Joe's. What else? A lot of places that we don't have here. Oh, saffron withdrawals are in your mood. Me too. I might have to just come on live and just tell you guys where I am and what I'm up to. All the things I love, yeah. Reasonably priced grocery store. I know I have to go to the grocery after I get off this live, and I haven't been in a while, so I'm not looking forward to it. All right, I'm centering my zipper. My family is nowhere near where I am. They're on the mainland and I am in Hawaii. All right, so that is just taped in place. I'm going to go ahead and stitch it down. I've actually been making my zipper end a little bit bigger, maybe a 1/4 inch larger than I need. So that way, once I stitch it, I can trim it down. And I've really enjoyed doing it that way lately. I'll show you up close what I'm talking about. So here is my zipper end. I just stitched around, and then now I'm going to trim off about 1/8 of an inch on both sides. That way I know every time it's going to be nice and even because I'm trimming it down to size. And I've just really enjoyed the look of that lately. It just gives it a more sharp. I need to just singe those little pieces of thread. What else do I need to do? Oh, let me prep the interior. So this bag has what's called a gusset, and that is a piece of material that goes all the way around the outside to hold the front and the back together. So the outside gusset is just one solid piece of material. The interior gusset is a little bit smaller, and we're going to sew, then we're going to sew the top and the bottom onto it. And the reason for that is because the gusset on the inside has a top band that goes all the way around, and so this part right here is the top band for our gusset. So that's the step that I'm going to be doing now. Can you recommend where to purchase sewing table? I don't know. I made my cutting table, and this sewing table came with my machine, so I don't know. Go to Schofield. Schofield is right down the road from me. It's about 15 minutes down the road. That's actually where I'm going to go grocery shopping, to the commissary. Hi, Anya. All right, so our tops and bottom to our gusset is tied on and then or sewed on, and then I'm going to do a top stitch. I knew I'd love that. The top stitching gray on this yellow fabric is so pretty. Hey Lori. So I use cotton for my interior and then I line it with SF101 interfacing. Look at that gray on that yellow. Tell me that's not the cutest thing. Probably not the cutest thing, but it's cute. All right, let's go ahead and put our interior together. I'm going to start with the interior panel. So just like that gusset, the interior panel is not the full size. We're going to top it with our band. And again, that gives us this band look all the way around the interior. So we're going to sew our band on, and in between the lining and the band, we're going to install our zipper panel. So I'm going to go ahead and mark the center of my zipper on both sides. And then one of the very first steps, we mark the center top of our lining. I'm going to match my zipper center with that, and then line that up. And then now I'm going to attach my top band, right sides together, and then just clip all three of those layers together. And then we're going to sew it down. This is not my pattern, no. This is by Knotted Threads Co. It's called the Aries. It's a wonderful pattern though. I absolutely love it. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to open this up and do a top stitch. More of that gray thread on that yellow fabric. And then we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So just Mammy, for her custom order, she wanted to add a zipper pocket, so that is why it's a little bit different than normal. I'm going to line up that center mark. And then grab my top band. Clip those together. My nose is running, I'm sorry, y'all. Oh no, I missed the question. Could that be pinned where you get this pattern, please? Yes, I'm sure somebody could do it. Just Mammy, do you mind? I want to get my zipper pull out of the way so I don't hit that for my zipper pocket. You guys want to hear something random? I found my large rivets yesterday. Do you remember like a month ago I lost them? I found them yesterday. Okay, this is going to be tight because that zipper pocket is so tight up there. I'm probably not even going to be able to do a top stitch, which won't really, if you see this one over here lays a little bit flatter than this one, that's going to be the only difference in the top stitching. It's still going to be a functional bag, but I can't get to the top stitching because the zipper, this is such a small piece of fabric, so I wanted to give her a biggest zipper pocket as possible. So I'm not going to be able to top stitch that. It's not going to make a big difference, and I'll show you. I'll put it all together. So now we're going to put our interior gusset in to our interior panels. They weren't in the freezer. They were actually in this drawer right here, which I keep my staple removal, and that's why I was thinking about it because I'm about to do some staples. Some tools. I have a little drawer right here that I have tools in. My punch when I do rivets, and I just put them there. And I got off of my live Tuesday looking for those stupid staples that I couldn't find. and I found the large rivets. Alright, so I'm just clipping my interior lining to my gusset. I found the staples too, by the way. They were supposed to be in here, but they were in my hardware overflow drawer. I might be losing my mind here, guys. Okay. So I have the gusset clipped to one panel, and then for the curves, I'm going to go ahead and use some pins. You guys know how I feel about curves. I'm also going to pin this zipper pocket out of the way. We're all losing our minds. I think mine might be going a little faster. I remember when this came up with those stupid rivets, I was like, man, I never lose anything. You guys see me anytime I need something, I know exactly where to go, grab it. But lately, it's been a challenge. I can't lose one. I admin for something she was searching for in the fridge. That's hilarious. I mean, it's not surprising, especially because, like, my mind is running, guys, all day long. So I'm really just going off of muscle memory. Like, right now, I'm thinking of 12 other things, and I've just made this bag so much, it's just muscle memory. Half the time, I can't remember why I stood up. I remember my dad asking my mom for Tylenol one time, and she went in the kitchen and got it for him, and then came back out into the living room and looked at him while he was sitting on the couch, popped the Tylenol, drank the drink, and then like went on about life. That's totally something I would do. Lost my dishcloth one. In the freezer. Oh my gosh. Brains never stop. Yep. Military companies. Are you worried about moving at all? No. This sewing machine actually got damaged in one of our moves, and they were really good about reimbursing me to get it fixed. And they usually are really good about that. And if it's something like extra special, we get an allowance to take like those really big containers that you normally put in your garage. Like I have a couple for Christmas decorations and stuff like that. But I think when we came to the island, we brought 2 of those. So like I packed stuff that I knew we would need, because it takes about 2 months for us to get our home goods. So I took 2 of those, and I brought, like, you know, frying pans, stuff that I would need to cook, bedding, pillows, stuff like that. Stuff that I knew I would need before we got our home goods. So anything that's like super sacred that I need, I will bring with me. And if they damage anything else, it would suck, but it's not going to be the end of the world. Everything's replaced. Everything can be replaced. My brother came home. He had a dumpster-sized container. Yeah. Yeah, they're really good about allowing you to take a lot of luggage with you. I think we had like 3 suitcases a piece, and then 2 of those really big containers. Did I create a month? Also thinking of the next projects. Yes, but the other thing is a container before they do. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, so they'll probably pack up the house, get it on a boat, and then we'll probably leave the island like a week or so afterwards, because there's some stuff that we have to do before we leave the island. Eventually I'm moving within the next year. Probably right around June. Did you have to live without furniture? Yeah, but we were in a hotel. So like the house that I'm in right now, we had already rented it, like signed a lease for it. So we were in a hotel, and then during the day I would drive over here and I would cook dinner and have my dogs play. Not then, because I didn't have my dogs, but I would come over here and cook dinner and do like laundry and stuff. But we stayed in a hotel for, I want to say 9 weeks. Military is wild. Yes. Just, yes. Yes, it does. And traveling with 2 dogs. I'm not looking forward to that. Okay. Gusset, this is the whole interior is done. What I'm going to do is take my pinking shears and get some of this extra fabric outside of my seam allowance. So here's all this extra fabric. I'm going to get that out. Do you know how I plan on having kids? No. Nope. We don't know where we're moving to yet. We won't find out probably until the beginning of the year. I'm just doing this over the trash can so I don't get all this fabric on me. Okay. So this is just the extra fabric that I got out, and the reason for that, it's not necessary, but I like to eliminate the extra fabric because it can cause bunchiness. Alright, so here is what our interior is going to look like when we open it up. This is the side that has the top stitching on it. This one doesn't, but again, it's not that big of a deal. It still looks like the interior. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is open up my side seams and I'm going to stitch those down around the top. This is going to come in handy for when we put the interior and exterior together. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, I'm like 95% sure we're coming back to the mainland. Probably more like 99% sure. But with the military, you always have to give yourself that little bit. I love this yellow. With this print, see how that yellow zipper just totally ties in that interior? Daff, I love this. Alright, interior is done. All done. I'm going to set this aside and finish up the exterior. And I just wanted to do it that way to give that glue a little bit of time to dry. So remember how we glued our zipper down? We don't have that little gap anymore. And that's just securing it. It's this part right here of the zipper on both sides. It's glued behind that. All right, so now all we have to do for our exterior is add the gusset. I'm going to clip my zipper pocket out of the way so I don't accidentally sew that down. That would be sad. Tiles the island. That would be sad. Tiles the island. To leave the island. 3 years is a good time. I'll be ready to get back home. There's just a lot of stuff that I miss. My family's so far away. But I'm not like a super beachy person, so. Alright, so I'm just going to attach my gusset all along the outside. I don't have any kids. I have 2 dogs. That's plenty for me. It is hard to visit. And then with all this Boeing stuff going on, Do you know how much water you have to fly over to get to the mainland? Okay, so here's how I like to do my gusset. Anytime I'm sewing curves, I have to take my clips off to sew because you can't sew over these. So what I like to do is add some staples around the curves. And that just keeps it in place so I don't have to take off the clips. So let me grab my stapler that is full with staples because I found them yesterday. The staple remover. It's hard to say. Yeah, does say that I'm fine less than 2 weeks. Okay. You should be fine. Like, the likelihood of something happening is so astronomically low. I realize that, but it's just still. So I'm just adding a couple of staples outside of my stitch line. So that's the back of the staples. So my stitching is going to be below those, so I'm not going to sew over them. I know a lot of people usually ask about that. And then as soon as I'm sewing, I just take them out. Do you make a horse saddlebag? No, I don't. I have a horse print though. Puzzle game is coming up. Alright, let me take out these staples. And then just like with the ends here, I'm going to go ahead and trim down the seam allowance. Good one, still do. I didn't lose my staple remover. I actually got a new one. Can one still do all this in the standard sewing machine? This bag, I would say yes. You could use the regular sewing machine with this one. If you're using vinyl like I am or faux leather, then of course you would want to adjust your thread, your needle, maybe even add a walking foot if you don't have one. But there are some adjustments that you can make to a regular sewing machine to sew with thicker material. But this bag could also be made out of cotton, and you can use a regular domestic sewing machine for that as well. All right, let me trim this extra fabric away. Again, this isn't necessary. I just like to reduce the bulk in my bags as much as possible. All right. Here's what we're looking like so far. This is the back of the bag. And then I'm going to grab the front and do the exact same thing. Hi. Line up my center marks. So I'm just clipping my straightaways, and then I'm going to staple my curves. Thank you. And then we only have a couple more steps, and then she is done. Time time is it? 12? My mail's already been picked up. So, Daph, this will go out tomorrow. Where do you get that printed vinyl? I have it custom printed. Get those staples out. Did I put it back? I must have put that staple remover back. How fast I receive my orders from you and I'm on the East Coast. Yeah, that is crazy fast. Have you done any more leather work? No. I bought some more leather, but I haven't done any more work. I'm gonna do it. I think I have brunch on Sunday, but I don't think I have anything else going on this weekend. My husband's cooking out on Saturday, so I'll probably try to get some in on Saturday. Right now, I would say that I'm in my R&D phase, my research and development phase. So I'm still watching a lot of videos, just seeing all the different techniques that are out there, because there's a lot of different techniques on sewing leather. And it's just different. So I'm in my R&D phase. Don't need to glue a staple mark? No, because the staples are outside of my seam allowance. So you see how the staples are right here and my stitching is down here. I'm going to trim this little bit of extra fabric away anyways. So you're not going to see these holes, because what you're going to see is all of this fabric outside of my stitch line. So you don't have to glue it. It's my favorite kind of staple. Mine too now. I think I've used one when I used to work in the office. I forgot how great it was. Alright, now I'm going to trim this extra fabric away, just like I did here. They are fancy. Okay. Going to open up my side seams and stitch those open. And then we're going to be ready to put our interior and exterior together. And then the last step is just the strap connector, the crossbody strap and the connector. The thread I use is Gutermann. You have this equipment on your bio? I don't. No. But I'm happy to answer where I get everything, except for my printed vinyl. That's really the only thing that I don't share, but I'm happy to share everything else. That staple remover, Amazon. The stapler, Amazon. Okay. We're ready to put it together. Remember how we drew these lines in the very beginning, and I told you that I'll explain to you what we need them for now. So this is called a drop-in lining. So we are literally going to drop our interior into our exterior. So in order to do that, we need to finish the edges, because right now this is called a raw edge. This is a raw edge. So what we're going to do is take double-sided tape. I'm going to put it all around where this line is, all the way around, and then what I'm going to do is finish the edge by folding over this fabric to line up with that line that I drew. And that's going to give this inside a finished edge. This is going to be my finished edge. And then we're going to do the same thing with the exterior, put them together, just do a top stitch all the way around, and then she is done. So for the interior, I like to put my double-sided tape right on that line. So a little bit of it will be above, and then a little bit of it will be below. And the reason why I like to do that is because when I put these two together, the inside to the outside, that extra little bit of exposed tape will keep it in place while I'm sewing, even though I'll clip it in place. So for the inside, put the tape right on the line, and then for the exterior, I put the tape right above the line. It's just how I do it. You can do it however you want. Thanks. I'm happy to give them. Sometimes I feel like I talk too much. Remember, we have all that extra fabric on top of our exterior zipper pocket, so I'm just holding that out of the way while I put my tape down. So now, it doesn't really matter which one you start with. I'm going to start with my interior. I'm going to take that backing off the tape. And I like to start with my side seams. I'm going to open this up. So I'm going to fold that over where the top of the material hits the top of that line. I like to put just 2 clips in my corner seams, just because that's where the most stress is. So you see how that's folded up, and it hits right above that line. So I did this side, I'm going to do this side, and then I'll do the rest. Thanks, Natalie. And just, it's really simple, just press it down into that double-sided tape. So our interior has a finished edge now. There's no more raw edge. I'm obsessed with this yellow and this gray. All right. Do the same thing. The reason why I do my interior before I do my exterior is because I'm going to have to turn my exterior right side out, and I don't want that sitting around where the tape could possibly, or the fold could possibly pop off that tape. But I do it the exact same way. Side seams first. Gives me happy memories. I wish my mother. Aw, it makes me unorganized. Oh, yeah. I'm not always organized. Guilty. Alright, so I'm just pressing that into the tape, getting my finished edge. So here's the finished edge. This is what the raw edge is. Alright, let's turn this right side out, pop in the interior, and then sew them together. I love the gray and yellow. Man, it was like perfect timing getting this lining in for you, Daph. Like it was meant to be. Alright, so now we're just going to pop this in. I have my zipper pocket on this side, so I want to balance out the weight by putting my zipper pocket over here on this side. Is that right? Yeah. So like without it, it'll lean over here because there's more weight because of this zipper. So putting the zipper to balance it out over here is what we shall do. Such an inspiration. Oh, I love that. All right, so now we're just going to clip them together. I'm going to start with my side seams. And then once we get them clipped together, we'll just go ahead and sew around top. Sewing girl. And then remember, since we put the double-sided tape along the line, we have that extra exposed double-sided tape, so it's going to hold it. It's going to hold these two pieces together. The clips are just our insurance. Work is beautiful. It's amazing. Thanks, Tiffs. I also like to bring my interior up so that it's peeking out just a little bit, just so you have a little bit of that contrast. I'll show you what I mean. So like you see how the top of this, you have just a touch of that gray popping out. I love that. I'm gonna do it on the other side too. Where did you learn to make bags? So I taught myself how to sew by just watching a bunch of YouTube videos, and I started with sewing clothes, and it just kind of evolved into bag making. So sewing, and obviously you have to learn how to do it, but it's really just techniques, right? Think about cooking. You have boiling, sauteing, frying. Those are techniques of cooking. Sewing, zippers, you know, using different hardware, making a strap. Those are just techniques. So if you just learn the different techniques and then put them all together, kind of like, it's just like cooking a big meal. You fry some things, you mash some mashed potatoes, you saute some green beans. And so it's just different techniques, but at the end, it just makes one big meal. That's all sewing is. All right, so we have our interior and exterior just clipped together, and then now I'm going to stitch around, and then we're done. Then we'll just add our attachments to put our crossbody on. Is there a reason you don't add? You don't add what? The straps before adding the interior? Yeah, so it's done differently. So the strap attachment is actually attached once the inside and outside are sewn together. Good question. Stitching a straight line is the hardest for me. Yeah, you just gotta practice. I promise, you just gotta practice. When I teach like my nieces, I would take a piece of paper and or a piece of material, and I would just draw a line, and I would just tell them to go to the sewing machine and just stitch straight down that line, and just keep doing it until you've mastered it. It takes time. All right, I'm getting my tension. And now we sew. So just like I did my zipper pocket earlier, I'm not going to back stitch. Instead, I'm going to pull those threads through. How many bags do you have of your own? Maybe 6 or 7, not terribly many. I'm like a creature of habit. I really like using the same bag. But like when I came out with this style, I made myself one. And that's usually what I do. Let me pause and pull that thread out. And keep going. I'm almost back to the beginning. So what happens? switched. Back in my color, yeah. Yep, same. And I don't really go a lot of places. I work a lot. All right, let me tie off these threads. All right, I knotted it off, but I also want to just singe the little pieces of thread. I love it so much. We have our zipper pocket on the outside. That material is so perfect. Okay, let's make our crossbody strap. That's an incredible eyesight with threads. I wouldn't say incredible eyesight. I struggle. If your threads are breaking, it could be a couple of different things, but if your threads are breaking in its tension, then your tension is too tight. Alright, so she chose this really pretty gray crossbody strap to go with it. Guys, I am obsessed with this. So let me sew this up really quick, and then we'll do the connectors, and then we'll be done. Okay. So I have an adjustable buckle. Sorry, I forgot about it. So I'm going to thread that through the buckle, and then I'm going to fold the material over and then fold it over again, and then sew a rectangle. Let me just get it all lined up. I like to use a 3-stitch length. This is a cotton webbing. I'm going to singe those little threads. I don't know if you'll be able to see it since it's gray thread. I just sew a little box, and then I'm going to make sure that it's nice and straight, it's not twisted. Add my lobster clasp, thread it back through. Make sure it's nice and straight. And then I'm going to add my other lobster clasp. So one is suspended because this is an adjustable strap. And then this one is going to be sewn on. Again, a double fold. So fold, fold, and stitch. And then I need to check my bobbin after this. Somebody remind me if I forget. I just stitched a little square. So the crossbody strap is all done, and so I cut mine 55 inches, so it's quite a bit of material if you want to make it longer or if you want to make it smaller. I know Daph is vertically challenged, so she would probably keep it short and small. Alright, let me set this aside, check my bobbin, and then we will do our connectors. Oh, I'm good. I'll be able to make it. Okay, so here are what the connectors look like. I add a piece of Decaville light on the inside. This is going to be sewn to another piece of material, and then I will cut it out, and then it gets folded over the top of it. So we're looking at 2 layers of vinyl here. I like to add the Decaville light because it just acts as an additional layer of fabric, and it just strengthens it that much more, especially because it's a small bag, so you don't really have to worry about it, but the entire weight of the bag will be on these 2 connectors. So whatever you put in here, these 2 little connectors will bear all that weight. So to me, the more layers of fabric, the better. So that's why I add Decaville light. I'm gonna add some double-sided tape. Anytime I am sewing a smaller pattern, so like this is a little bit smaller, instead of cutting out 2 of these and trying to keep them under my sewing machine and sew along the outside, I like to just grab a scrap and then put it on, and that just gives me extra material to hold on to, especially when I'm down here underneath my sewing machine. I'm going to take the backing off. Stick that to my scrap, and then sew around the outside, and then I'm going to come back in here and cut these down. All right, let me get my tension right. I went from sewing 4 layers of vinyl. Remember, we folded each side, so there's 2 per 4 total. So I went from sewing 4 layers of vinyl down to sewing 2 layers of vinyl. So I need to adjust my tension, and I need to reduce it because I don't need all that tension with just these 2. I'm going to pull my thread through so I can knot it off. All right, I'm going to tie that off. So that's what it looks like stitched together. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. Oh no, I lost part of my thread. That should be fine. Alright. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I hate singing on live. I hate when people sing on live, so I try not to do it. Besides, my voice is terrible. I apologize, that just came out. Alright, let me trim this up. There we go. So there is one. And the other one. All right, now I'm going to use my little pattern piece. This is going to show me where my holes go. So I'm just going to transfer those marks. Going to mark on the side of the bag where they get installed. So I just like to line up my seams. See how that seam and that seam are together? That gives me the center of my gusset. So just line up those seams. It'll give you the center of your gusset. Measure down what the pattern tells you to. Gonna add a little mark on both sides. Grab my punch out those holes. 15 minutes from Schofield. Yes, somebody was here earlier. Open up the zipper. All right, let me grab my rivets and my press. My press I got from Gold Star Sewing. I'm gonna take out 4. The pattern calls you to do 1 per. So the pattern, I think it's just the bottom one right here, but I like to add 2. It just makes me feel better. I sleep easier at nighttime, so that's what I'm going to do. So as you see, I only punched out 1 hole. When this is folded over, it's only 1 hole. And then I'm going to make the other one once I get it lined up on the side. So poke my hole through. I'm using, oh, I grabbed the wrong ones. These are 3/4. Let me go grab my 1-inch D-rings. I grabbed the wrong one when I was prepping. Here we go. I get these from Amazon. They're just 1-inch D-rings. Nothing special. But they're really good quality. They're welded. Alright, so I'm going to fold that over, add the back of my rivet. And then what I'm going to do is make sure it's lined up. And then punch the hole for the second one. I need to just take the time to mark it and then add it to my little pattern piece where the second set of holes go, but this is just as fast. Alright, so my rivets are just attached. I haven't set them yet, but that's what it looks like, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. So where I tied off the thread, that is going to go against my lining so you don't see it. So I'm going to put my rivet in, fold this over, put the back on, and then punch out my second hole. Put the back on, clean this up. set my rivet. I like the double rivet too. Double rivet. I'm in love with it too, just mammy. I might tell you that it got lost in the mail and just keep it. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't lie to you. You should have just done the second hole now before you set the rivets. Okay. I think this is the prettiest bag. Oh, thanks. Okay. She is done. So again, my Aries bags, they all come with a shoulder strap and a crossbody strap. Because this is a custom order, she did not want the shoulder strap, which is the only reason why it doesn't have one. But I am obsessed. Look at that pop of gray and yellow. It's so pretty. Oh, you know what? All of mine also come with a little charm for the back zipper. Daph, I'm going to give you a choice. You can either do the new charm that I just got. Not 100% fan. But we can even put that on your zipper. Or we can do the double BB. I have a black and a white. So just put in black for the double BB, white for this one, and then you can just put new for this one. Do you make any with bats or skull prints? I do. I think I have a skull print. You see this skull and roses print? I think I have this style in that print. White. All right. Let me grab my pliers. This is all that I have to sew today, you guys. My normal lives are Tuesday and Thursday, so today is the last day until next week. I will miss you guys. But if you're following me, thank you. If you're not, I would invite you to join the family. It's free. And then if you wanted to watch this replay, I will have it uploaded on my YouTube page later on this evening. So if you just go over to my TikTok page, click on the Instagram icon underneath my follow button, it'll give you my Instagram as well as my YouTube. Love. You should probably test the bag before you ship. Quality control is incredibly important. I would concur. I'm obsessed with this. Thank you for letting me do it for you, Daph. I know somebody was asking about this bag. So this is a custom order. It is not for sale. This one, I have two available. This is my paw print. So I have one in red and then I have one in black. This one comes with the shoulder strap as well as the crossbody strap. These are both able to come totally off, so you don't have to wear both of them with the bag. If you just want to wear this with the crossbody strap, you can. If you just want to wear this with the shoulder strap, you can. So they are totally interchangeable. And I have a bunch of prints too. I have, what do I have up here? I have my owl, I have the horse, I have a ton of prints in this style. I just stocked a whole bunch of them. They all come with a exterior zipper pocket, a zipper closure, and then a card slot on the interior. This card slot, card holder. I don't ship to Singapore now. I ship to within the US, the UK, Australia, and Canada. Where did I get the webbing for the strap? This I got from, what's the name of it? It's not Alibaba, it's the other one. AliExpress, I think. Do you do zipper lockets on all three zippers? I don't know what a locket is. Do I do a zipper locket? Are you talking about the BBs? No, just on this zipper. But like some of my bags, I've been getting into charms lately, so I want to start adding little charms like this to all of my bags. So this one has like a little paw print. Let's see if I can show you. Is that not the cutest thing? A paw print for the paw prints. Yes, I made this. I do have cat prints. I do. Not in this style though. But if you go to my website and just search cats, everything I have in cats will come up. Okay, I'm going to run. I have to go to the grocery store. But I will see you guys back here on Tuesday. This video will be available in my YouTube under my video playlist. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Until next week. Bye.